What's going on, everybody? How are you? How's it hanging? How's it going? Today's a different kind of video. Today, I want to be addressing some questions that people have asked me in the past. People are still asking me these questions when they see I go live on Twitch, and they're like, why are you playing these kinds of games? I don't understand. Why aren't you playing something else? Why are you playing these specific kinds of games? And I always kept the reason to myself, but I think it's time for me to actually say why I'm playing these kinds of games. So, if you don't know, I am trying to get the platinum in any kind of racing game that I can. Whether it's a kart racer, a track racer, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. And the main reason why is because I'm trying to keep a promise that I made years ago. And this promise that I made was to my uncle. Now, I'm telling you right now, don't get alarmed if you see my eyes getting watery between cuts, between edits. If I end up shedding a tear while talking, it's okay. It's a sensitive subject for me. But it's something that I feel like I need to talk about. So, my uncle was a gamer, okay? He was a gamer. He enjoyed playing games with family. He enjoyed doing whatever he liked to do, okay? He wasn't particular about whatever he was gaming on. He had a PlayStation, he had an Xbox. He didn't care. As long as there were two things. As long as there was cars and there was women. That he didn't care what kind of game it was. One of his favorite games to play, or at least types of games to play, was definitely racing games. He enjoyed customizing his car. He enjoyed being the first in a race. I can say, if you know me, that if you know me, I can say that the main reason why I'm a gamer is because of my mom, because she introduced me to so many games. So many games. It didn't matter what it was. A story game, a fighting game, a shooter, a puzzle, a racing, a horror. It doesn't matter. She played them. She played them and she wanted me to play them too because she enjoyed them. And my uncle took a particular liking to racing. And every time I were to go over to his place, if he wasn't trying to win a race, or if he wasn't trying to outbid somebody to get the best deal on a car, we would just sit around, hang out, watch some stuff, and then he would ask, "Hey, you wanna do a couple laps in this game? You wanna I unlocked this new car. I just got up to this level. I got this. Do you want to try it out? Wow. Yeah, of course. I'll try it. That's cool. Let's go. And we would sit, and hours would go by while we were trying to race each other and trying to see who was the better racer that day. If you remember on the original Xbox, you would have memory cards that you would put inside the tops of the controller. He had a memory card, and his memory card, he filled it with his updated profile for specific racing games. And every time he were to come over to my place, he would be like, all right, guys, so I got this. We're doing this. We're going to hang out. We're going to have fun. Let's see who could beat somebody. So then he would have his own controller. And we would have our controllers. We would have our accounts already on the Xbox. And he would bring his memory card, and he would have his own thing. So then we would, if one of us didn't have anything that he would have, we'd be like, how did you get that? Or, yeah, I just recently got that. Wow, you already have it like this? And yeah, that's how he was. To say the least, we lost him. It was devastating. He meant a lot to all of us. He did. But for me in particular, he was like a father to me. He was my father figure. And it hurt. It hurt. And it hurt bad. What still hurts me the most, regardless of it all, after all these years, what still hurts is that I couldn't say goodbye. And I remember the phone call I had when they were telling me that they didn't think he was gonna make it, and that he wasn't able to speak, but he could hear. And at the time, he had a SpongeBob figurine that had a baseball outfit, like a baseball cap, a baseball bat, and like he was staring at you sideways, right? So the joke that we had was that every time one of us did something like weird or suspicious or anything like that, we would pick up the little SpongeBob and we point it sideways so that it would be looking at us like sideways, like suspicious. And when I had that phone call, I had that figure with me. and I was crying because I wanted to be there with him. I wanted to be there with him, and I couldn't. Circumstances happened that they were only allowed to fly, I think, 2 people. And me and my other uncle were driving. We were driving there. We stopped off at where I used to live for the night so that we could get some rest and then continue the drive to get to him. And when they called me and they told me that I had the figure in my hand, and I said that I'm gonna miss him, and that I always loved him. And one of the words that I said was, I am gonna try to keep your legacy alive. I am gonna try to keep your profile on the top of the leaderboards, whether it's on Xbox or on PlayStation. Every racing game that I play, I'm going to be thinking about you. And I'm going to try my best to keep you up there the way that you kept yourself up there. Excuse me, sorry. I had to blow my nose. But yeah, I will try to keep your profile on the top of the leaderboard. It doesn't matter whatever racing game it was. It doesn't matter what platform it was. I want to make sure that your name stood up there. And after his passing, during all the grieving process and everything, we had to go through and cancel a lot of the things that were coming in his name. And so doing that, it stopped me from keeping my promise. I couldn't log into his account. So we disabled his email. So I couldn't keep the legacy alive. And I only realized that after the fact, after I've gone home, after all the grieving and traveling from New York to Puerto Rico, burying him and everything, that was something that in doing everything, that was something that stopped me from keeping that alive. And after knowing that I should have found a way to try and reconnect that email to my email or anything like that, so that I can at least reroute some of the profiles so that I have the ability to use them. I did because I was hurt. because I was devastated and that I felt like I failed him. I did. I felt like I failed him. So, with that feeling, I chose to not play racing games for a while. I did. Because in my mind, if I wasn't playing a racing game under his profile, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And after all these years, something clicked in my head. Something was just like, no, you shouldn't think that way. You should do it, even if it's on your own profile. So, that's what I'm doing. Every platinum that I get in a racing game, yeah, it's on my account. But to me, it's not for me. To me, it's for him. So I don't care what racing game I play. I don't care if it's for a kid. I don't care if it's a kid's game. I don't care if it's an arcade racer. I don't care if it's Need for Speed, Forza, whatever. If it's a racing game, I'm playing it for him. I will earn the platinum for him. That's why. That's why I'm doing racing games. Those other games that I've platinumed, those were for me. But racing games, those are his. And I will continue the grind, no matter what game it is, just so that he can have another platinum under my name. I'm sorry if this video's very sentimental. I have pictures of him. This shirt that I'm wearing, it was his. I still have some of his things because we divided it amongst the family. I have his games. I have his PSP. And a couple other things that were his. I have some of his clothes. I think about him a lot. Especially when times are tough. I think about him a lot. I always want to talk to him. I always want to hear his advice. Ugh, I'm a mess. And I know I was going to be. I don't care. I know he's here with me in some shape or form. I know he is. I gotta get rid of this. Excuse me again. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I know he's with me in some shape or form. He's watching over me, just like my grandfather's watching over me, my great grandfather. I don't know if you guys know this, but I got a tattoo specifically for him because, again, it didn't matter what platform we played a racing game on. And when we played it on the Nintendo, on the Wii U, his favorite character was Luigi. And if you remember, years back, Luigi gave a stank face every time he passed by somebody. And when my uncle heard about that, he was like, Luigi's my favorite character. So I got the Luigi stank face just for him. So I'm sorry if this video is sappy. I'm sorry if you watch this video and honestly at the end of this you just don't care. And you're still like, well, why are you playing kids games? Like, I don't understand why you're playing racing kids games. That's not games that he played. It's a racing game. And to me, that's all that matters. I don't care if it's a kid's game. I don't care if it's not. It's a racing game. And he would have loved it the same way as I did. Because he would have made fun of it the same way that I do. So yeah. I just want to let you guys know. Anybody who asks in the future, you can reference them to this video. You could tell them, hey, yo, watch this video. You'll understand why. So, yeah. This is the end of the video. I don't have an outro. I don't need an outro for this. Just know that I will continue playing racing games. And I will continue getting the platinums. Because that's something I can do. And I'm not letting him down. That's something I will continue doing. That's my word. I'll see you guys in another less sappy video. Bye.